Hey guys, what's going on? We're back in San Antonio now. Now that we've gotten some rest, you might not be able to see, but we haven't fully unpacked yet. There's still a lot to unpack from a trip like that, but it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a good time. I want the opportunity, if possible, to do it again. Going to a YCS, going to a big event like that, especially with the crazy band list we got. Oh man, the energy in that room when they started announcing one by one. We didn't get the cards, but it was still like it was a lot. It was a lot of energy. It was a lot of fun. Um, but I wanted to talk about the band list and my thoughts. Now I have time to sleep, digest, and go over my thoughts on the band list. I haven't watched any other videos, other content creators of what their thoughts were. This is just organic, my initial thoughts of what I think. So we'll go from unlimited to forbidden. The unlimited, nobody cares about. I mean, cool, Ava, Shuchinoko and the dangers. Maybe down the road there will be a deck that can kind of abuse the dangers again, and it would be interesting to see that. But I don't think anything on the unlimited list is going to go crazy now. I think semi-limit list, that all of this, whatever side we put it on, um, the limits towards the Malice deck do not matter. It's cool that you don't just have multiple Dormouses, and it kind of also is forcing the players to have better hands, because you won't end up with two Dormouse in your hand and two White Rabbit, or multiple field spells. Um, Me and my friends, we were talking about it, and they asked me what my thoughts were on the Malice. It's not going to matter. It won't. You could play Terraforming, but with what's coming in Ally, because y'all gotta remember, we get Ally in like 3 weeks, and spoiler alert, Shifter being gone, it's at one, but it's basically banned. You might as well have banned it. No one's gonna play the one of, because it's not a card where you can then use it down the road later on the duel. Like, if it's not the first card used, it's a brick. It's nothing. It's worthless. You can alert Darkness it away and draw two, sure. Um, but getting backup Secretary over the Attic Mister cards, there was a build I have where you use Silent Mining anyways, because there's so many to search. It just kind of, it doesn't matter. It's nice that they limited some of the stuff to kind of like tap it on the wrist. Don't get too crazy now. Malice hits were fine for the semi limits. Rizal, kind of the same thing too. Rizal, with seventh Tachyon at 3, you can still play Rizal. You're not gonna not play Rizal. The semi limits were fine. Taking away some consistency but still having those decks playable, perfectly fine. And the thing I'm most excited about is Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is back, but not the way that I think it was. Now, we know on this list Fiendsmith didn't get touched, so Fiendsmith is still full power. In recording this Monday, in 2 days, Stampede comes out. Engraver will be supers. You can get them for $4 or $5, maybe, probably like $2 or $3. So people still get to enjoy the engine, which I think is fine. I don't think it's overly oppressive. There's still hand traps, and bestials are still available to stop the engine, but it gives people an opportunity to enjoy the engine that maybe couldn't afford the engine back then, but now that it's reprinted and cheaper. I don't know the price of Tract. I imagine Tract is going to go up, but Tract and Lacrima we'll probably see in the tens, if not Battles. Battles, they might get their reprint as Ultras, maybe in the tens, Prismatics, who knows. But and then the two dragons, I'll be honest, my friend plays Dragon Link. He said that it's cool that they got it, to 2. It's not going to do anything crazy, but gives people the opportunity to play different decks that they weren't able to before. more consistent, so that's cool. And then Shavara back to 2. Shavara back to 2 is awesome. Means people can play the Fiend Piles, Unchained. Can't be, I don't think it's standalone deck. You would still use the Fiendsmith engine, but it would probably be like a Yubel, Unchained, Fiendsmith package that you would still play with, which is pretty strong. You know, it's not nothing to laugh at. Now that you have 2 red dogs, you know, you got more consistency. You got more grind game, and you know, I'm happy. I'm happy for that. And then the limited Druid Swarm going to 1. We all saw it coming. It's oppressive. The fact that once it's sent, if you use it as link material or if it leaves the field in any way, being able to target and then send, it was oppressive. It was going to go to 1. We knew it. You still have 3 Baldrake and 3 Sarnir. If you really want to go heavy Bystials, just go 1 Mag, 1 Druis, and 3 Baldrake. That's your 5. If you want to throw in more, you got Sarnir. Cool. Ain't nobody's complaining about that. So Bystials are still around. They're just not prevalent. I just wish... I wish the Bystial package was more like to itself, and Mag just wasn't some generic searcher for dragons. But I get that it also helps some decks, but you know, whatever. What else was on the list? There was Talents. Talents finally going to 1, thank God. Now the only thing is that Thrust will probably be played more, which, you know, given the heavy hand trap format, you know, Thrust into Talents or Thrust into anything. Thrust is still a good card. I think Thrust is... I mean, I think Talents and Thrust are both equally problematic and in their own rights do the craziest things. Being able to set D barriers still. Being able to, you know, Thrust, and if your opponent has a monster and you go in second, you know, you normal summon your monster, they Effect Veiler or Detonator pop it. Being able to Thrust into Talent anyways, it's like it didn't matter if it went to 1, you just don't have builds playing 2 Talent, or even the guys that were playing 3 Talent. It's a smack on the wrist, but Thrust maybe on the next list might go, who knows. And Detonator to 1. People don't think that this is much of an impact. I think it's huge because pure Ryzel is gone. Now that Metaltronus got reprinted in Stampede in a couple days, if you Metaltronus your opponent's Detonator and banish it face down, or even Kashtira, rip it out, or Cherries, reveal your Detonator and banish theirs, you're not playing Ryzel no more. You better have some other powerful, you know, rank 4 Xyz boss monsters, because you're not playing Ryzel anymore. That hit to Ryzel was pretty nuts, because there's always in the grind game the second one, you know, you outed the first one, and with Eclipse Twins it'll come back. But now that more people will have Metaltronus at all the rarities they desire, it's big. It's big. I don't know if it'll be the death of Ryzel, especially with the support coming out in a couple weeks. I think people will still play it. People are still going to play Fiendsmith Ryzel. I think Fiendsmith Ryzel is probably going to be the play for a lot of people, which is fine. You know, the deck's not overly oppressive now. They got their consistency hits, because next card, Bonfire to 1, which we all saw coming. I didn't want it so, because I was hoping that OSS might come back and Bonfire go to like 2, or, you know, we might get Snake Eye Ash and Poplar back, which it did happen. Bonfire going to 1 is fine, because, you know, more people would be playing Thrust, so you can just Thrust right into your Bonfire, which I'm excited for, because, you know, the Snake Eye package, it produces a lot of bodies. It's hard to stop. We have Snake Eye's Doom Dragon now, which is another level 8 body that you can put and then, you know, overlay with Flamberge or the Diabellstar. It's just a heavy link package, and you got, you know, your QCR, World Seas reprinted now, Raging Phoenix got reprinted, Promethean Princess has been reprinted, so it's just an engine where it's just an engine that produces bodies for the links, and it's just the control. So I've got a build that I'll show later on in the week. It's in the works right now of what I think what I will be playing with my Snake Eyes, because I got to play the Snake Eyes. It was such a fun deck, being able to play the game when other people didn't want you to play the game, being able to, flip anti-spell and deck lockdown and all these other cards that were oppressive, and then just knowing on your turn you could either witch pitch it, or ash or oak pitch it. It was a fun time. A lot of people back then, having OSS and Wanted and then Witch, and then when we got Deception, you had like 25 starters. If you saw one of 25 cards, it was full Snake Eye combo. Especially with Beatrice, if you saw Engraver, it was full Snake Eye combo, which I'm glad Konami's kind of like them putting the 2 Snake Eyes to 2 and 2. Maybe OSS comes back, but I like that I get it, they have to sell the new product, out with the old, in with the new, but let the people have fun with the decks that they enjoy. Bring the top to the middle, bring the bottom to the middle, let everyone be able to play the game, and just kind of see what people can come up with and their ideas. Malice, yeah, you were able to abuse Nightmare Griffin. I mean, with the Snake Eyes coming back too, the Snake Eyes was able to make Nightmare Griffin like nothing. I mean, they got rid of Appo, they got rid of Baron, they got rid of Savage, they got rid of Link Karibo. They got rid of all the overly oppressive boss monsters, all the Omni Negates. Griffin just being another one, just putting it on the board with a bow out now. It's like, just do away with it. And the Malice players in the future aren't going to play it because they get the new Adignister boss monster. So you weren't going to play Griffin anyways. So just another floodgate out of the format. I agree with Konami. Just get rid of the floodgates. Link Decoder just being able to be another body. It hurts that deck. But Link Decoder was used in just generic Cybers, which... the one I forgot, Circular to 1. So we'll revert back. Circular to 1. Generic Cybers is coming back. Now, it is only at 1, but Malice with the new Adignisters, it might just be like a pile of just dark Cybers with Sign It Mining, get whatever you want. They've got Synchros coming out. There's a lot of stuff that deck is going to do. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to stop Darks or Cybers or Links, now's the time to start experimenting, because that is going to be, in 3-4 weeks, that is what you're going to be seeing. Is you're going to be people are going to be using the Dark Cybers. That's going to be like, I believe, I'm calling it now, the deck of the room, given that they have so much support. It's Link, so as long as they're able to just produce bodies, you can just keep going, which Circular and the Bestials and the Malice, they're all able to just produce a lot of bodies. So we'll have to see what that format does. But yeah, Link Decoder banned, sure, why not? I don't even think we'll be playing Dotscaper, so you could have banned Dotscaper too, and just get rid of all the free bodies. It just means that Link Decoder just means that the normal summon of one of the Malice monsters or names, it's a little bit more difficult too. You still have Lingeribo, but you don't get the Link Decoder to come back. But you get your Bestial, and you get your Malice name because you banished it, and you have Lingeribo, so you still get your 3 bodies into whatever. So I agree with Konami. Just hit the consistency, but don't kill the deck and make it hard for them to combo. And the new Malice main deck monster that we're getting in Ally, it's the extra body. You don't even play Dotscaper, you play that. Malice is gonna still strive. Shifter being hit to 1 as well. It's banned. Just I'm not gonna too much on that. I don't have the list in front of me. I probably should have, because I'm trying to just go off of like memory and keep it organic. Shifter to 1, Shifter's banned. Nobody's gonna be playing Shifter. If you get Shifter in the coming format, dude, I'm sorry, you just lost. This video is all over the place. Crossout to 1. I agree with. The card is oppressive. It was, Rizal was able to abuse it because they just played their small, engine of like what, 15, 18 cards, just like Snake Eyes was. A lot of hand traps, 3 crossout, and because they play all the hand traps in the world, it is what it is. that imperm didn't matter, that ash didn't matter, that nib didn't matter. Now that the consistency is coming down, the protection has also gone down with crossout being at 1 and called by being to 1. Will we see called by come to 2 on the next list? I hope so. I think called by is a really good card. Follow the OCG. It's a good call, with the chummies, grind game, hit generics, but crossout to 1, fully agree with. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, this list is all over the place. Trying to keep it organic. So the last ones on the forbidden list being Bahamut Shark and Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller we all saw coming. Abyss Dweller has been toxic, not just this format. Any Mermail it is able to make it. I mean, they make more Bahamut Shark and make 2 toads. But yeah, it's just a card that when it's been around and it sucks. And when it's not, it doesn't do anything. But I'm glad Konami just got rid of it. Keep it there. Rank 4s will always be the best package in the world. Just, yeah, I agree. And then Bahamut Shark. Bahamut Shark hitting Mermail and Rizal, I agree with it. Let Sprite players make their hard summon Toad. If you hard summon Toad, cool. It just means that for Mermail, or not Mermail, for Sharks, they were able to get the Leviathan out, which was cool, a cool interaction. It just means that, they were caught in the crossfire and they have to figure out some other method of madness now. But Bahamut Shark, it also opens up the opportunity for future card design. If they want to, they don't have to worry about Bahamut Shark being in the format, and they have to be careful about what cards they print. And if 3 years down the road, no one's playing Rizal anymore because there's, the new flavor of the, format. They don't have to worry about Rizal coming back, making Bahamut Shark again, and then making whatever it is that just came out, and it's a problem. So good list overall. I would imagine a lot of people are saying that this is probably the best ban list we've gotten. My experience, I started once Agov released, so I'm not that old to Yu-Gi-Oh! But talking to people over the years gives me kind of an idea of what cards have been problems before, how good are hits now, what they would like to see hit. I would still like to see Droll hit, just because it's like a lingering floodgate as well, and cross out being put to 1. You still have the opportunity to hit it. You got 1 called by, 1 cross out. Droll's at 3. Will we see Droll banned in the future? Will we see it put to 1 or 2? Who knows? But thoughts after the whole ban list, and then looking to post Ally. Whitewood's Azumina, not being biased, Whitewood's Azumina will be a crazy deck because Wanted did not get hit, thank God. And neither did Witch either. So Azumina will still be a full package people can play. It'll be a good deck. They don't have to worry about Shifter. They don't have to worry about Dweller. Those were 2 cards that were going to keep that deck down, and it kept, while I was playing at locals, that's what hurt me the most, was Shiftered or Dwellered by every Rizal player. It sucked, and now we don't have to worry about that, and we probably don't need to be playing Xyz Encore anymore. We'll kind of have to wait to see what the format evolves into, but we'll probably stick to Metaltronus or Cherries, just rip out the 1 detonator and you just go off. But I think in the top bracket we're gonna see 3 decks dominating post Ally, which is White Forest Azumina, White Forest Azumina Fiendsmith, some versions of that. Blue Eyes is still strong, and then Malice, Cybers, those decks are going to be the top decks. So if you guys know of any cards that hit those directly, I think Droll coming forward is going to be really good. It doesn't hit Blue Eyes as much, but it hurts White Forest. I believe it's going to hurt the Malice and the Cybers piles quite a bit, just because they will be doing a lot of searching, especially if you can hit it off the backup immediately, or if they go Silent Mining first just to get a name. It makes it very awkward. So get your copies of Droll, get your copies of, going into a format where we don't know exactly what it's going to be. Make sure you got your Evenlies, your Dark Rulers, your Forbidden Droplets, all your blowout cards, Lightning Storm, because we don't know exactly what it's going to evolve into. And those cards always come in and out of format. We know that Malice is going to be able to set up an impressive board. And the reason why Dark Ruler and Evenly didn't matter too much is they had a lot of other things that they can do. A lot of the grind game involved the graveyard or banishment or hand. So those cards didn't really matter as much. As long as you kept the one important one, you could keep going. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the ban list, guys. Go check out my other videos I did for YCS Houston this weekend. I wish I would have recorded more content for y'all. But between the whole rounds of, I had people or judges say that I couldn't be recording as much, and I tried to sneak in some shots here and there, but we do have our ban list reaction, so you guys should see that before this video, because I'm recording this after that is currently being edited and uploaded right now. But it was a lot of fun this weekend, and I'm looking forward to being in the lab with y'all, see what we can come up with, see what decks are gonna be reigning supreme now, what y'all think. What was I wrong about? What was I right about? Just leave in the comments below, and I'd love to have a conversation with y'all. But until next time, see you guys later. Peace.